Ron has no idea what goes on in the Muggle world, so he starts screaming into the phone.
In their defense, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, so they
Yeah.
haven't really had a chance to get.
It's been a while, and I know you're waiting, I'm waiting, and everybody's waiting for the first chapter of the third book. But first, I have an update.
We love a good update.
Yeah, so I was going to have my son on for this update, but, he'd been through so much, I couldn't bring myself to ask him, hey, let's turn on this camera and give everybody an update. So the update is we're all back home.
Good.
That surgery went great. So he got a pacemaker, and I thought they were going to put it in the collarbone area, I guess, where they normally go.
Sure.
I guess they make small ones now that's like maybe the size of the tip of a pin cap, kind of.
Yeah.
They went in through his groin directly into the heart. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
And he was perfectly fine. He, just like when I had my appendix taken out, what's your pain scale on a scale of 1 to 10? He said, my throat hurts. That's exactly what I said.
There you go. We'll take that.
Yeah.
We'll take that after a heart procedure.
I know.
If it's your throat, that's...
Yeah, so he was normally... oh, man, I can't think of all the words right now. What's it called when your heart rate is too fast?
Tachycardia.
Yeah, he was tachycardia. I think he had arrhythmia at one point, and then his heart rate was normal for a regular person. And I was like, oh, I see no problems. And the heart doctor's like, well, that's kind of low. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's perfect right now. But then it went down into low heart rate. I forget what it's called off the top of my head right now, but
Bradycardia.
yeah, bradycardia. And it was in the 40s when we noticed when he left the hospital for another reason. And so we took him in on Saturday morning, and he got metaflighted on a jet over to Colorado. Oof. I drove down there, and his heart rate pretty much stayed there. It would go up like he hates IVs. Any kid would.
Sure, yeah.
He had in total four IVs. So his heart rate would kind of go up when they came in, but that wasn't really the issue. It was more of, it was going down too low. But yeah, they got it all placed, and I think Wednesday we left. We stayed local. We went to the zoo. There's a kids museum. Then we saw the Titanic Museum up there in Colorado.
Yeah.
And he did great. Like he's already, like even that day, the next day or 2 days later, he was at the point where it's like, hey, you can't be doing that. Like, slow down. You just had surgery.
Yeah.
It's just insane that they can go up through your groin, put a device in your heart.
It's crazy.
And then you're good to go. And then we had this machine we had to monitor it on. But if you go to like the cardiologist, they hook up like the EKG things to it, or it looks like EKG, and they can adjust the rate just like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that until they did it. She's like, let me put the heart rate back down to what it is before we put this in. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So you don't have to take it out to adjust it? That's awesome. So
crazy.
It should last 5 to 10 years, depending on, how often his body uses it. But he's completely back to normal how he was before all this started. So
now, how do you know when his body's used it? Does your machine work, or you have to go into the cardiologist and they'll get a readout?
So the machine we have is only to, I guess, test it and take a reading, and it will actually send it to the cardiologist. And we only do it every 3 months.
Okay.
So if his heart rate goes below 70 is when it kicks on. So I don't know why
below 70.
Yeah, I don't know why they said it at 70 because they said 60 in the beginning, but it's crazy. And then on your side, Andrew, you have been crazy with the plays, but they are now done.
They're done. So is the creepy mustache.
Oh, that's right.
Except for, so here's what's funny. My wife and I, so we've known each other forever, right? We've grew up together. and we've been married. We just celebrated in August 17 years of marriage. And she always talks about doing couples or family costumes for Halloween.
Yeah, my
And I'm like,
girlfriend
sure,
does that
cool.
too.
Yeah, I'm like, cool, let me know. We've never done it. We've never done it.
We did
One
last year.
year,
We dressed up as I think Squidward, SpongeBob, and Sandy Cheeks, and those
okay.
inflatables. I'll never do it again.
Oh, the
It
inflatables.
was so
Yeah.
hot and hard to see, and if you wanted to unzip
Yeah.
it real quick, you can't. And no,
No. Yeah. So a few years ago, I'm a big fan of The Office. And so I did three hole punch Jim, and Pam was a black cat, easy makeup and the cat ear. So that's really the only time we've done a costume thing. So every few days I'll get on Amazon, and my wife, she'll just kind of put stuff in the Amazon cart, and I'll get on every few days, and I'll just look through, order. If I need anything, I'll get it, whatever. So I scroll to the bottom, and she has a couple's costume picked out for us. And I immediately ordered it because it was fantastic. It's one of my all time, if I could only watch 10 movies again in my life, this one might make the cut. From The Princess Bride, she got a Princess Buttercup costume, and I'm Wesley, the Man in Black costume.
there you go.
Now,
Yeah.
super excited about it, but Wesley has a very thin mustache
Oh man.
in the movie. So I'm like, am I am I gonna do the
We're
little
gonna let
thin
that come
mustache?
back. Oh man. What
But
about
no,
the
done
kids?
with the
Are
play.
they gonna match?
No, they're not gonna match. My oldest daughter, she's all things horses, so she's got some horse costume that she's gonna do, and Atlas is gonna be something Minecraft, my son, and
Oh yeah,
then
there you go.
my youngest daughter, who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
She's thrown out 10 things that she would want to be.
Well, every year I go, I have my costume. It's the cloak hanging up in my studio. I'm a wizard.
There you go.
Done.
Yeah, there you go.
And then she gets mad at me and she says, "You can't do that every year." So who said I couldn't?
Yeah. Watch me.
Welcome back, witches, wizards, and muggles to Squibs Corner. I am Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew, and we are now finally into book 3, year 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And we're starting off with chapter 1, Owlpost. But I think before we jump into chapter 1, we can do a brief recap, and then we'll go into some facts just about the actual book, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So,
When we were coming back from Colorado, I was like, I want to do a podcast so bad because that's time to sit down, relax, and just let everything go.
oh my gosh, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I'm
yes.
ready. I'm ready for this.
So let's recap books 2, book 1. Again, J.K. Rowling does this. She did it at the beginning of book 2. She does it at the beginning of book 3. I can't remember if she does it at the beginning of book 4, but she gives a brief summary of who Harry Potter is and who some of the characters are, as if we've not read book 1 and not read book 2. I don't know if she was encouraged to do that because these were quote unquote children's books, or
Yeah.
in the teenage genre. I always found it annoying, but
She gave a
but going
super brief recap on this, but it was just like a few sentences, I think.
yeah, very brief. She goes into just a few details that everyone should know if they've not read books 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So obviously, book 1, the Philosopher's Stone. Harry has to figure out where the Philosopher's Stone, how to get to the Philosopher's Stone, so that Voldemort can't get to the Philosopher's Stone and come back. Book 2, Chamber of Secrets, which I really enjoyed. I loved Chamber of Secrets, other than some of the silly loopholes, which I think every book kind of had some silly loopholes, especially this one. Anytime a story incorporates time travel, there are just inherent loopholes to it,
Yeah, yeah.
in my humble opinion. So Chamber of Secrets, we learned that Tom Riddle was teenage Lord Voldemort, or Lord Voldemort grew up Tom Riddle. We know that Tom Riddle is an orphan. We know that he's half blood. We know that his mother was a witch and his father was a muggle. So we learn more about the villain, which I enjoy
Yeah.
about book 2. But at the end, Harry prevails. He learns a little more about himself, and he gets a little bit of not cockiness, but like, now this is a second time,
Yes.
right? Now this is a second time, a third time, if you will. Once when he was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
baby, and first year, and now second year. So
Well, it's
it's
great too because we learn Voldemort's trying to come back, and he's got these, which I don't think they've been named as of this point. I mean, we've said what they were, the Horcruxes,
yeah,
but we've got little things here and there, trinkets, right? That are tied to Voldemort somehow.
yes.
Yeah, so he's not quite. Would you say he's getting close, like from an outside perspective?
Who's getting close?
Voldemort. I know as the books progress, but from an outside perspective, knowing nothing about the books, you're just like, oh, he's been defeated again. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, because book 1, no Horcrux was discussed, talked about, sought after.
Yeah.
Right? He used Quirrell to try to find the Philosopher's Stone. Now, inherently, you and I know that once he got the Philosopher's Stone, he would then go get a Horcrux, do the spell, and become full strength again.
Yeah.
We get that.
In that movie, we saw the ghost, kind of the ghost of him, I guess you could say.
Yeah, kind of the soul. He
Yeah, the
can't
soul.
truly die while Horcruxes are there. It's I was reading something the other day where he tried to defeat, or he tried to kill Harry as a baby, but it backfired. He couldn't do it, so barely alive, he fled. And so that was kind of him scrambling. If I can get myself to the Philosopher's Stone, then maybe I can gain some power, grow stronger. And then in book 2, it wasn't even Voldemort who planted the Horcrux,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like it was this plan. It was almost just this, okay, Lucius is mad, at Arthur for the raids.
Yeah.
And that's why, there's really no other indication. Did somebody tell him, hey, we've got to get this diary back into
Yeah. And
Hogwarts?
then when we did see him, we just seen a memory of him. Like we didn't actually see him at all.
Yeah, because what we know, or at least in book 4, Voldemort insinuates, once the Death Eaters come back, like, oh, you guys haven't really done. You thought your little partying at the Quidditch World Cup, you guys haven't done anything while I'm gone. Nobody came to look for me except for Pettigrew, who did so just out of
I think it's a
his own
typical
self-preservation.
villain attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like the Death Eaters got together, because really,
Well,
the
there's
Death
a lot.
Eaters.
There's a lot to go into that too, which we can bring.
Well,
up
and we
later.
learn in this book, right? We learn in this. Well, no, we learn in really book 5
Yeah, we could bring that up later.
the most powerful, or the hierarchy of no, I guess book 4 he mentions it. The hierarchy of Death Eaters are in the prison, right there, in the prisoner in Azkaban. So yeah, so it all just seems like desperate attempts to get Voldemort back, but I think now it gets really, it's kind of neat, because in this book, Voldemort's not really a present enemy.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about how this book ends, so this book,
Voldemort's more of like a I can't say the word, but a mind F.
sure,
That's exactly. He's always on your mind. You're always
Harry
thinking
knows,
about him.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Harry defeats the memory of Lord Voldemort, who was trying to come back to fruition by sucking the soul and life force out of Ginny Weasley. So he defeats Tom, he defeats Voldemort's or Slytherin's heir, Slytherin's monster, and saves Ginny, and they all go home. And he can't wait to go back. So that brings us to chapter
Our
1.
7-word summary.
Yeah, 7-word summary.
All right, Andrew, give us our 7-word summary for Owl Post.
Happy birthday, Harry. Good to be back.
Oh, man, that's a lot better than mine. That's a good one. That's a good one. I saw the 7-word summary, and just like books 1 and 2, I went, oh, yeah. First thought that came to my mind worked. So, Harry is doing his homework in secret.
Yes.
If you've ever been a parent, you know how hard it is to get a kid to do their homework willingly?
Not easy. Not
in
easy.
secret? Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Which takes us to our 7-chapter notables. Right? It takes us to our 7-chapter notables. Number 1, Harry's doing what on his summer break? Number 2, just have Hermione do it.
Right.
Number 3, 3 years in a row, something flies to Harry on his birthday. Number 4, Ron's vacation. Number 5, Harry's dearest ladies. Number 6, strange present, Hagrid. And 7, Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade. Now this is a short chapter.
Like a normal present, really.
Yeah. Now this was a shorter chapter. It was, she did her summary, she got us going, she got us back in, and on to chapter 2.
Yeah, we'll get into it with the final thoughts, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's go into a few factoids about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So obviously it was written by J.K. Rowling. The United Kingdom publisher was Bloomsbury, which I give the slight nod to. I prefer the Bloomsbury over the Scholastic. Nothing against the Scholastic. It just feels more authentic.
And you're currently reading the Bloomsbury, or have you not had time to read it?
Yeah, I am reading the Bloomsbury. My son, so we homeschool our kids, and my son, he has to read a chapter a day.
There we go.
And so he gives me a report, a verbal report when I get home, and I'll ask him a couple questions.
It's like my kid. Okay, what happened in this chapter? Well, no. And he starts talking. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, man.
yeah, because these kids, they can read, but it's reading to comprehension that I really care about. So the book was published in the UK July 8th, 1999. And then in the United States, it was September 8th, 1999. It sold 64,000 copies in 3 days. Worldwide sales figures are estimated around 65 million copies. The book was released. The book was released at 3:45 p.m. to prevent children from skipping school to buy it immediately.
Holy crap, that is smart.
And that was the first time. Yeah, that was the first time that the book. So books 1 and 2 were, released on this day. So that they did 3:45. So kids wouldn't skip school. Now here's what's cool.
That's when I made it.
Yeah,
kids are skipping school. Now we got to release it after school. Oh, that's.
Here's the thing, though. You remember the lines. You remember the lines to the bookstore. Kids were still skipping school.
I never physically seen the line. Like I've seen videos and stuff like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
I would love to go back in time and be part of it.
Yeah, those. Oh my gosh, those lines. Yeah,
I would love it.
So here's what's interesting. Here's what's super neat about this. So, Prisoner of Azkaban jumped to number 1 on the bestseller. And books 1 and books 2. Remember, she released these back-to-back years. I think 1, 2, 3, and 4 were back-to-back years. So books 1, 2, and 3 were at the top of the New York Times bestseller list.
Wow.
So, with the release of Prisoner of Azkaban and it jumping to number one, New York Times created a kids' book section
That's awesome.
because you had all of these novels and other authors, and then there's three Harry Potter books up there. So
That's
New York
two
Times,
breakthroughs with this book already.
New York Times changed
Wow.
their best-selling list because three Harry Potter books were up at the top.
Wow. That's
I mean, just
awesome.
boom. So in Prisoner of Azkaban, you got 22 books, 317 pages. The original UK edition, the Bloomsbury one, had 317 pages. A standard US edition published by Scholastic was 435 pages.
Huh, I wonder.
2014 paperback edition in the UK had 462 pages. Another US edition published by Scholastic had 464. A 2016 UK paperback edition had 470 pages. And then the illustrated edition had 480 pages, which the illustrated edition makes sense because you now have
Yeah.
pictures and stuff making it longer. But 107,253 words. And I think, in my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people agree, this book sets the tone
Oh yeah, yeah,
of
for
the
sure.
Harry Potter series. We
I
got
wonder
great
why.
stories in the first two, but this book really sets the tone.
Yeah, that's where it really starts. I wonder why the big discrepancy right there, 317 to 340 or to 435. That's
I don't know if it's the size of the page, size of the font. I don't know.
that's the
I
only
don't
thing I
know.
could think. But that's a big. I could see it being a couple pages off, but
Yeah,
that's almost 100 pages, around
yes,
80 right there. Man.
crazy.
But yeah, this is where we really start. Aside from this chapter, honestly, um, but
Yeah,
she still jumps into it pretty quick. It's no longer an
yeah,
introduction book, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. This is where I think
We're
she
here. We know
really
what's going
nailed
on.
down
Yeah.
where our direction. So let's jump into the first chapter or the first paragraph of chapter one, Owl Post. Harry Potter was a highly unusual boy in many ways. For one thing, he hated the summer holidays more than any other time of year. For another, he really wanted to do his homework, but was forced to do it in secret in the dead of night, and he also happened to be a wizard.
You know what? When I was younger,
Like we know.
do you remember the series Boxcar Children?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
My mom would tuck me in. I'd have a flashlight and a book under my pillow, and I would read those books.
Oh
What a
man.
rebel!
Impressive.
So
Impressive.
that immediately brought me back to that. I tried to
Yeah.
tell it to my son so he could be like, "Oh, really? I'm going to try that," but it hasn't
Yeah.
worked.
Hasn't worked. So Harry's back at number 4 Privet Drive, which we all know and hate, and was forced to read his school books during the night because the Dursleys obviously don't want him doing any magical education stuff at night. And so they locked his school supplies in the cupboard under the stairs where Harry Potter was basically raised. So, chapter notable number 1, Harry's doing some homework for History of Magic. As he's writing, he has to keep stopping so that he can check to hear if there's any movement in the hall. And the only reason Harry even has some of his books is because he was able to pick the lock of the cupboard under the stairs and grab a few of his books, which I think we should give a little nod
Yeah, I was going to say, who
to
do you
Fred
think,
and
Tyler?
George
Yeah.
Weasley. Yeah, we give them a little nod because they did the same thing in the
Yeah.
second book. So I think he picked up a little bit of a little knowledge from them.
Yeah, I think so too. So, yeah, no changes in the Dursleys' behavior or their feeling towards Harry being a wizard, or their feelings of magic in general. Chapter notable number 2, Harry is already on eggshells with his aunt and uncle because Uncle Vernon had received a phone call from Ron. Ron being a wizard, and so we know his dad works for the misuse of Muggle artifacts, but Ron has no idea what goes on in the Muggle world. So he starts screaming into the phone because he's never used a phone before.
Yes.
Needless to say, Uncle Vernon was furious that a wizard had their phone number, and it said like Ron or Vernon was holding the phone like arm's length
Yeah,
away.
Ron yelling at the top of his lungs, never having used a phone before. So
That's
good.
cool. Why would you yell into it? Though? I mean, I guess there's some things in your head. It doesn't make sense no matter what
Yes.
somebody tells you. Maybe that was it for him. Since the attempted phone call from Ron, Harry hasn't heard from anyone in the wizarding world for 5 weeks. And he'd also mentioned like, oh, what a shame, because like Hermione knows how to use telephones, and
And we talk about that. Yeah, that's the chapter notable number 3, I think. Just have
yeah.
Hermione do it.
Well, he also, I wish Ron wouldn't have mentioned Hogwarts, and I'm like, he didn't. He just said from school, but I guess
Yeah.
instant tie-in right there
Yeah.
for Vernon at least. So
Yes.
Hedwig was allowed to fly at night, though, but it was only one improvement, and that
Yeah.
was the only improvement because Hedwig was being too loud, and I could just picture
Yes.
Vernon like, hold on, let me go outside and look around, make sure everyone's asleep, no one's looking. Because someone's got to see an owl coming out of a window at night, even in the dark.
Yeah,
Eventually.
there's no way that Vernon would have let Harry keep Hedwig. There's no way. They are all about
Yeah.
how they look.
Especially
So,
Petunia with her cleanliness and
oh my
everything.
gosh, there's no way. But Harry swore that he wasn't going to send any letters, no letters to or from anybody in the magical world. So it's like, okay, cool, let him fly out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hedwig is out flying. When Harry thought that it was too late to continue doing any of his homework, he puts his books, his quill flashlight, his ink
Quill
bottle,
flashlight. Big difference from the movie where he's using his wand.
which makes no sense
Yep.
since you can't do magic outside of school. But we'll just disregard that.
I can only think Lumos is like such a it's just a light. Like who cares, right? Easily get mistaken for a flashlight or something.
Easily. So he puts it all in a pillowcase and he hides it under a loose floorboard in his room. And he looks at the clock. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock in the morning, which means that Harry Potter had been 13 years old for 1 hour. And let's see. Let's just throw out an easy pop quiz
Oh, it's been
for
a
my
while.
boy Jeremiah.
It's been a while. That song
Been a
gets
while.
doesn't it? Copyright.
Jeremiah. For 10 points to Hufflepuff. When is Harry Potter's birthday?
I know you ask me this every book. See, I would think it's pretty close to September here, so May.
Why don't you just pick a month farther from September? He's on summer holidays. You think it's May?
Oh, that's right.
What is happening here? You've driven to
August.
600 miles.
August 11th.
That was a much better guess. You get one more guess. You've got 2 strikes. We're going to give you one
Am I
more.
allowed to cheat?
You are no cheating. I will give you a hint. It's also J.K. Rowling's birthday.
That does nothing help me. August 3rd.
Even closer. So, July 31st, 1980 is Harry Potter's birthday. So,
And for book 3, chapter 1, Jeremiah fails his first quiz.
I want you to get ready for book 4 because you will be asked when is Harry Potter's birthday. All right. So, yes. So, Harry Potter's been 13 years old for an hour. And we learned that he's actually never received a birthday card before, which is super sad. And if you look back to books 1 and books 2, he didn't receive a birthday card either of those years. He received...
Really? Not even from Hagrid, Ron, or Hermione?
No, he received a birthday cake year 1, and he received his Hogwarts letter by hand from Hagrid, but no card in it.
So he
And
just gets the
then-
gifts, but no cards.
But here's the thing. In book 2, Dobby had stolen all of his mail. And he pulls out a stack of mail.
Yeah.
So we can only assume that there were birthday cards in that stack of mail, but he never gives the mail to Harry.
That's true. He never actually gave it
He
to him.
he just is like, you know what? I'm keeping these.
I'm going to
You
drop this
set me
cake and take off with your letters.
you set me free, still not getting the letter.
Yeah. How can I ever repay
So,
you? Give me the
yes.
letters.
So then JK gives us a recap of the first 2 books, a brief summary of Harry and what the reader should know about Harry to this point. This is what she says. Harry, though still rather small and skinny for his age, had grown a few inches over the last year. His jet black hair, however, was just as it always had been, stubbornly untidy, whatever he did to it. The eyes behind his glasses were bright green, and on his forehead, clearly visible through his hair, was a thin scar shaped like a bolt of lightning. Of all the unusual things about Harry, this scar was the most extraordinary of all. It was not, as the Dursleys had pretended for 10 years, a souvenir of the car crash that had killed Harry's parents, because Lily and James Potter had not died in a car crash. They had been murdered by the most feared dark wizard for 100 years, Lord Voldemort. Harry had escaped from the same attack with nothing more than a scar on his forehead, where Voldemort's curse, instead of killing him, had rebounded upon its originator. Barely alive, Voldemort had fled, but Harry had come face to face with him at Hogwarts. Remembering their last meeting as he stood at the dark window, Harry had to admit he was lucky even to have reached his 13th birthday.
You know, that line right there, barely alive, Voldemort had fled. There's a lot of controversy over, even in our Muggle world, like, did Voldemort die? Did he just flee? And it says it right there, plain as day, barely alive. So he's still alive. Mm-hmm. And Hagrid's right when he says, I believe he's out there just too tired to carry on. Codswallop, in my opinion. He's not dead.
Yeah.
Right? So it's right there in the black and white. And then the green eyes. Does the new Harry Potter have green eyes? I haven't paid attention to that.
That's a great question. But CGI has come along.
True.
So far, they can give him green eyes.
Yeah, they can.
Man, I gotta tell you, I'm getting excited.
We still have to update. Andrew, we're going to have a schedule now that your plays are done, right? Because you told me that about a month ago. Yeah, we're back on schedule.
Look, I was ready.
I'm going to play.
I was ready after the plays, but some life events took place. Life events took place,
and you said yes to another play.
I said maybe to another play.
And then you were in it. Maybe I'll do it. Okay. All right. Yeah, you be here, Andrew.
Yeah.
So chapter notable number 3, Harry walks past Hagrid's cage and goes to open the window. He sees something large and lopsided flying towards him, which I was like, wait, we already did the flying car. But there's 3 owls flying towards him, 2 of them holding up the 3rd owl.
I love it.
3 guesses who that might be. Errol had a large package tied to his leg. Hedwig was carrying a parcel as well. Harry didn't recognize the 3rd owl, but it was carrying a letter containing the Hogwarts crest. Chapter notable number 4, Harry receives his first ever birthday card from his best friend Ron. It contained a newspaper and an apology, but inside the newspaper was an article showing the Weasleys in Egypt after Mr. Weasley had won a prize at work. Then he read Ron's letter, where it ends with the classic line, "Don't let the Muggles get you down," which I was like, oh, that's where that line came from. I know it's a Harry Potter line, but I forgot who said it. Yeah.
Yes.
We also learned that Percy was going to be head boy at Hogwarts this year, and Ron also sent him a pocket sneakoscope. If there's anyone untrustworthy around, it will spin. And while Ron... Okay, I'm going to quiz you. Why does Ron think the sneakoscope is broken? Or just unusable?
Because it was going off at dinner last night.
We can't get into it yet, but there's a reason
I was about to
why
say,
it
do
was
I need to
going
pop
off.
quiz you? You know what? You know what I would love to do? I would like to pop quiz you right now.
Oh man, we just going to town on this.
These are all impromptu pop quizzes, by the
Yes,
way.
they are. Well, we'll get to the end of the chapter at some point.
We maybe. How many galleons did Arthur Weasley win?
Wasn't it like 1,000 galleons?
You let me know if that's your final answer.
I'm gonna say 1,000 galleons or 10,000.
10,000 galleons. Good gracious. Cold.
Ah,
Colder. Colder.
I listened to that chapter twice too.
You get one more guess. Because we know it's going to be a guess. You either know it or you don't know it.
3,000.
700 galleons.
I was close with the first one.
700 galleons. And I laugh when I read this because it's like, because in the newspaper article it says it's like, oh yeah, he won the prize, cool. Oh, what are you doing? We're going to Egypt for a month. Wait, you just won 700 galleons from work, and you're like, bye, I'm gone for a month. A good day, sir.
The other messed up part is Harry's like, I couldn't think of a more deserving family to have it, as poor as they are. It's like, wow, Harry. Jeez.
And then in the letter, Ron's like, we basically spent it all on vacation, but they're gonna buy me a new wand. I'm like, I'm not gonna say that was irresponsible, but maybe shouldn't have spent all of it on vacation.
Yes.
But here we are. Look, look.
It's easy to do. Like, we come back from Colorado, we're staying at the Ronald McDonald House. Most of our stuff is taken care of. I come back, I'm looking at the checking account going, how did that happen?
Mm-hmm. Whoops.
Little bit here and there. So on vacation,
yes,
you're not paying attention. You're just hoping you don't run out of money.
Yeah. So now we go to chapter notable number 5. Harry then picks up the card, letter, and package that Hedwig had brought him, and it was from Hermione. Hermione, who was on holiday in France, which is typical. Only child. Her parents are dentists. She doesn't need to win 700 galleons. They're doing it. And I love this part. I love that Hedwig flew to her in France. And even Hermione was like, yeah, I think Hedwig came to me so that she knew that you would get something for your birthday.
And that's insane. You let Hedwig out just to stretch her wings, and she goes to France.
Yeah, she goes to France. Have you ever heard the theory that Hedwig was an animagus?
It would make sense.
An undercover by Dumbledore, and Dumbledore...
Because this is in one day, right? Or is he...
He'd been gone for a couple of days.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she'd been gone for a couple of days. But I love the theory that Hedwig was an animagus that knew Lily, was friends with Lily, and Dumbledore went to her and said, hey, we need somebody to watch over Harry. And that's why Hagrid was like, I'll get your animal. Don't worry, I'll get your animal. So he gets Hedwig. Obviously, Harry names her Hedwig, but...
What would her animagus be? I mean, obviously the owl, but what does she turn into other than that?
I mean, she's a person. She was Lily's friend.
Oh,
Lily's
okay.
Yeah, she was Lily's friend. And she kind of watches Harry. She watches over Harry.
Dang.
Yeah, which is why she gets... our cats, our dogs, our pets, they kind of get emotional and attitudes and all this stuff. But Hedwig, throughout the series, leaves, because she doesn't stay with Harry like Scabbers does, or Trevor does, or Crookshanks does. She goes away. So I love the theory that she's an animagus.
Yeah,
Anyway.
our dog, usually when you leave, do you have dogs?
Yes, I've got a dog.
So when you leave, your dog usually watches you leave.
Yeah.
When we took our son to the hospital before he got metaflighted, either the dog knew something was going on, or he was just very mad because we have chairs outside on the porch. He got on the chair, curled up in a ball, facing the chair, did not even watch us leave.
Oh man.
He's very good at showing his emotions. Like, you know what he's
Yeah.
feeling when he looks, but we were like,
Yeah.
why did he do that? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he opens the birthday present from Hermione, and it is a broomstick servicing kit.
So, hands down, best gift Hermione's given this entire series.
Well, and it shows you the type of friends maturity of Ron and Hermione. Ron's like, "Oh my gosh, look at this! I think it's so cool. Don't you think it's so cool too?"
Yeah.
And Hermione, it's like, "What does Harry love doing most?"
Yeah. Oh,
Flying.
It's great.
Loves his obviously it's great to have both friends because the sneakoscope is a cool thing.
Yeah.
And so, and Ron could also be like, you know what, Voldemort's going to try to kill him again. So here's some sort of detector.
Speaking of the sneakoscope, so this probably cost quite a bit, the broom servicing kit. The sneakoscope kind of seems like it was something that he just kind of saw and said, yeah, sure.
Well, because Bill tells him, it's like, oh, that's just one of these things that they sell to tourists.
Yeah, it's like,
Right,
did
that
he
they
had
make
like
to-
no thought behind that, really, in my opinion.
yeah. Saw something cool.
I
Hey,
mean,
he'll like this.
It makes sense, like with everything that went on in the last two books.
Sure,
But
sure. It makes sense.
at the same time, it's like, there's better things out there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't have all the money in the world either, so.
Yeah. So he gets the
gets
broomstick servicing kit, and then JK gives us a little recap of Quidditch, the 3 goals, the different balls, the points, all that jazz. And then Harry picks up the last package that was from Hagrid. Chapter notable number 6. As he was opening the package began to growl, causing Harry to pause. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I love, isn't it Draco that gives like the snarky response later, like in later chapters? Like
How? He's like, you just
Draco's
rubbed
like,
it
I thought
on
that
its
was funny.
spine. He's like, how was I supposed to know that? Oh, I thought
send
it was
us a book
funny.
that we don't know how to open.
Yeah. So Harry opens the package all the way, and then a book falls onto the bed, and he just has time to read the Monster Book of Monsters before the book began to walk like a crab, and it bit Harry when Harry tried to grab it. He had to kneel on it and eventually was able to wrap a belt around it, and then he throws it on the bed. Reads Hagrid's card, and he's like, think you might find this useful for next year. Won't say no more here. Tell you when I see you. And you're like,
Well,
Hagrid, tell me now.
I'm just picturing. Well, you stroked the spine, of course. Like, oh, why didn't I think it struck the spine? How obvious!
I've held a lot of books, Hagrid. Held a lot of books.
I won't tell you nothing more. You probably should tell me how to use this book,
Tell
bro.
me something right now. I love it.
That's great. It's great. So, Harry now had 3 birthday cards. He put the cards next to each other, which caused Harry to grin. He then went to open his Hogwarts letter, which seemed thicker than his previous 2 years, which I would think last year was pretty thick with all the Gilderoy Lockhart books. Too bad he's not in any more books. Well,
He is.
Sort.
He
Yeah,
is.
sort of,
He is
sort
in another book.
Yeah. Harry pulled out the first page and it read, Dear Mr. Potter, please note that the new school years will begin on September the 1st. The Hogwarts Express will leave from King's Cross Station, platform 9 3/4 at 11 o'clock. Chapter notable number 7. 3rd years are permitted to visit the village of Hogsmeade on certain weekends. Please give the enclosed permission form to your parent or guardian to sign. A list of books for next year is enclosed. Yours sincerely, Professor M. McGonagall, Deputy Headmistress. Then he pulls out the permission form. He would love to go to Hogsmeade, which is an entirely wizarding village. But the only problem is, Uncle Vernon's not going to sign this.
No.
Just at the mention of anything.
No.
It's just
No.
not. It's not going to happen. Not at all.
No.
Man, that is a long, long song. I'll go with this. This was a good chapter. However, I don't think we needed it. I think it could have just, boom, boom. There we go. Here we are. We're back. We know everything. I get the little, Harry Potter wasn't a normal child. He was a wizard with a lightning-shaped scar. And then they talk a little bit about Quidditch. I get it to pull you back in. Makes perfect sense. But it was a fun chapter. But as an opening chapter, I guess it works as an opening chapter, right? It's light.
Yeah. It's almost like if she did a page or two introduction before chapter 1, she could have gotten most of this chapter out of the way.
Kind of like an epilogue, yeah.
Yeah, no, not an epilogue. No, that's the prologue, yes, but not an epilogue.
Prologue, okay.
Yes. Yeah, she could have written a little bit about specifically, if you've not read books 1 or 2, read this before starting chapter 1.
Yeah.
So she could have given that to us, but she puts it in chapter 1 and it eases in there because we're also getting introduced to, okay, we're back on his birthday. Okay, we meet Harry Potter again.
Of course, the Dursleys forgot his birthday again.
Yeah. Well, in their defense, it's 1:00 in the morning. So they haven't really had a chance to forget his birthday. We don't know
Good defense.
yet.
Good defense.
No, we don't know yet. But yeah,
we do see a couple things in this chapter, but it's as I remember, it's not the boom intro to the book that I was hoping for.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But we'll find out in later books how different the intros are. I know as we go on, it just
starts.
And that's what I was hoping with this book. But I listened to it and I was like, oh, did I miss something? So I listened to it again. I'm like, no, I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
It's like an intro. It's an intro. It's an intro
it's
to
an
the
intro.
book, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
I was disappointed in. We didn't need another intro.
No,
but
that's
then again,
the thing.
Then again,
who picks up the third book of a series?
Yeah. I was going to say, then again, we started this out by recapping books 1 and 2. So, who am I to say we didn't need another intro about what happened?
Some of our awesome listeners might not go back to listen to all of the other podcasts. They might want to jump in right here, and I get that.
Yeah, they're different from books. Yeah.
Yeah, different from books. No, I enjoyed it. It gave the recap. And I love how JK does this. We get a seemingly innocent newspaper article, which something that she just builds on.
Yeah.
Right? She just builds on. So I love that she's the way that she does that. And then this chapter was a good introduction, but then chapter 2, Aunt Marge's big mistake, that really escalates and accelerates us jumping into the book. So yeah, we just read an introduction, and now we're going to get into
I'm curious to see the organization of this, because the first and second book, they were organized, yes, but there was a lot going on, and I'm hoping this kind of winds it down to, okay, there's a lot going on, but it makes sense. It makes more sense.
Sure.
So,
yeah, because nothing from book 1, just in general, really builds onto the story. At least book 2, we get the whole Horcrux, introduction to Horcrux, and that kind of feeds into, kind of the whole story. But book 3 sets the stage. A lot of people say book 3 is their favorite book, and I would say it's my second favorite book. Deathly Hallows is just, I love Deathly Hallows so much.
And people's pointed out, especially with the movies, like each movie that goes, it starts darker. Like the intro, like the graphics, everything literally gets darker. The music gets a little heavier and darker. So the movies, they realize that too, which I'm appreciative that they pointed it out. Really,
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. We finally made it to book
We
3.
did it. Yes, we made it.
If you're not following, click that follow button already. We're on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. And join us next time as we read Chapter 2, which Andrew really got down to it and put it right here for me to read what Chapter 2 is.
Aunt Marge's big mistake.
Yes, Aunt Marge's. Oh, you did say it. I just pop quiz. What? Aunt Marge's big mistake. And Andrew, go ahead and sign us out.
Don't let the muggles get you down.
That's a great one.
So good.
Squibs Corner is hosted by Jeremiah Lobaugh and co-hosted by Andrew Beecham, myself. We would love to hear from you, so drop us a rate and review. To inquire about being a guest, or if you have questions, comments, or just want to give us your Harry Potter story, email us at squibscorner@gmail.com. To watch Harry Potter merch unboxings, follow Jeremiah's YouTube, Accio Potter Guy. Lastly, you can leave us a voice memo and follow us on Instagram at Squibs Corner Podcast.